Hello and welcome to the Professional Business Connections. I'm Laura Viskovich and I'm really excited to introduce you today to Jonathan Laker from J.C. Laker Jewelry. Thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Great. So you have an amazing story in how you generate business into your amazing jewelry, and oh my gosh, do I love the jewelry. But firstly, please introduce your backstory into how you became the jewelry guy.
So I've been in the industry since 2001. My brother's pretty big in the industry, and I worked with him for a lot of years. We were very well known for men's rings, so the kind of ring you're wearing on your finger right there wasn't our typical what we were known for. And he still is pretty big in the industry. In Utah, he's huge, one of the biggest in the state. But I broke off at about 2012. I wanted to do my own thing. You know, me and my brother get along really, really well. He's one of my best vendors that I buy from. But then I also use some other local designers and designers from LA and New York to manufacture for me. The thing I saw in the industry was that a lot of stores have a lot of inventory that they're trying to sell and not really catering to what the customer wants. And so I do it a little differently. People come down, sit down at my desk, and we custom design something from scratch for them. And then I have it made and designed, and that way the customer gets what they want, not just necessarily what I have in the store. So it makes it a little more unique for that individual. So, but I've been doing that since about 2012. Started doing that and some other things, and just have really enjoyed the custom side of the jewelry industry.
Fantastic. So Jonathan, you got in because of your brother basically, but what's your background in business world? Is it?
Well, that was my start. So when I finished up with him, I was the COO of the business, did a lot of the running of it. I mean, obviously nepotism got me there.
Yeah.
You know, it was due to my last name, not necessarily to my credentials, but I learned a lot of how to run a business, how to manage employees. Obviously, there's always stuff to continue to learn, but I ran that business with him from the ground up. I mean, there was one point where there were 3 of us, and when I left, there's about 50, 60 employees in the company, and he's still, growing. But there was a lot of, growth from there. So most of my business experience does come from that. I did get a degree in school, and took a lot of business classes and things that have helped as well. But yeah, most of that education came from working directly in the business, hands-on.
Fantastic. So your journey's really come from a really solid business background. So tell me, I'm dying to know, how do you generate business into your jewelry business?
So one of the main way I generate business is through BNI.
Okay.
So and that's actually the only advertising I do. If you look at my Facebook page, it hasn't been updated for a long time. It's really a poor way to do it. But the BNI has given me enough business through referrals that I don't have to worry about the other aspects of the business as much of marketing. So if anything comes from other sources, it's great. But I'm seeing that I'm getting a lot of return referrals. So those people that referrals, I'm getting multiple generations of referrals from BNI, and it's been great.
So is it 100% referral from BNI?
Well, obviously I'm going to run into people with my background in the industry. There are people that I used to sell to before that have come. But now all the new business, all the new ones that aren't. So it's about 90% of my business comes from BNI.
Fantastic. So you really know how to keep your customers happy and getting referrals.
Well, hopefully I'm keeping them happy.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, and I know I can always do better. I think that's one of the benefits of BNI. It teaches us how to network, how to get those referrals. Because I think a lot of people don't know, how to tap into other people's referral streams. They sit back and wait for the business to come. They might do some stuff on Facebook or thing. They might advertise some, but they don't get really good referrals or really good sources of that because they're not, actively going after that type of business.
Okay, so Jonathan, what I'm hearing is there's a really good training process in BNI. So walk us through a little bit what that entails.
So, well, for me, it was just getting used to networking, coming in, learning that I need to talk to people and introduce myself, spend that first 15 minutes of that valuable time in each week's meeting getting to know people, really build that trust, that relationship. Because if we don't have that relationship, they're never going to refer over to us. And then as someone tries, make sure you do a really good job on working with them, so that they're gonna continue to refer Because that's the worst thing you can have happen is to destroy something for a referral and make it so they're never going to refer to you again. I mean, we have one shot at making a first impression, and a lot of times we mess that up by not knowing what to say, what to do. And I'm sure I've messed up a few times, but I think I've made a lot more better first impressions than bad ones. So luckily, I mean, obviously it's still a work in progress, but BNI helps with that, helps us to be able to understand what we need to talk about, how we can benefit those that are in the group. And frankly, the more I focus on their businesses and show an interest in them, the more I tend to get back from them.
Okay, giver's gain.
Giver's gain, yeah,
Love
for
it.
sure.
So I hear that visit is a big part of BNI. So walk us through your experience on visiting for the first time.
On visiting for the first time, I came into a startup group. It would have been 2013. Went into a startup group, and they were passing a little bit of business to each other, and it wasn't the greatest experience. And so that's why we looked at starting a new chapter, and that kind of fell flat because some members hate each other right off the bat. But then I could see the benefit that was there, the potential of it, and got lucky and found a group that I was able to join that really understood things, and I was able to play a part in the leadership in that group for a while, and it was just a great group of people to associate with and to learn from and be able to work with.
Fantastic. So you visited around a little bit and joined the one that you had a really strong connection with.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So if anyone's out there looking to visit for the first time, what would your tip and trick be? Words of wisdom from Jonathan.
If someone was coming to visit for the first time, is to keep your mind open to the possibilities, and not just worry about, hey, what am I going to get out of this? But where do I fit in this group, and how can I best do it? I a year and a half ago changed from one chapter to another due to scheduling conflicts, and I was looking at one group that was just massive. It had between 70 and 80 members, and then another group that had 30, and I clicked better with the one that had 30, and I felt like I could do more there. And even if they ever built up to 70 or 80 members, that was going to be a group that I could, really, grow in. Even if it meant that I probably wasn't going to get as many referrals at first, just because there's not as many people there getting to know my business. It was a better fit for me to be able to help grow the group and to, to get to know people just better. And it was a little bit of a funner group, a little more relaxed, a little, different personality than a lot of groups, and that helps me. I want to be in a group where I have fun as well.
Absolutely. So if there's members in a meeting that you attend and visitors, how do you educate them on what it is that you do, Jonathan?
Well, I get up and I try to say something kind of off the wall a little bit to help them remember what I do. Some of the stuff I do is very unique. I do a lot of stuff with dentists where I refine the gold from teeth, and so I'll mention that once in a while just to get people's attention. But trying to make a little bit lighter of the situation of jewelry, and just give different aspects every week of what I do, so they can see a wide array of possibilities that I can do for them or for their friends. Different reasons to refer. Just not, hey, I don't want to be the guy that only does bridal wedding rings. While that's a good section of the population, that's what they need. I also want to be able to offer custom design on the designer type stuff they're going to wear around their necks, more of the fashion jewelry, more of the big right hand rings. Not necessarily, I want to be the jeweler who can do all of it for them. So when they think, oh, I want this, they don't think of me just as a one-trick pony.
Right.
So we just want to be versatile. So I give a different commercial every week, different presentation to make sure that those people understand I have different aspects to my business.
So what I'm hearing is it's all about the relationships and giving to the members in your group, and what you give out is what you get back. So is there an experience that you've had where you've been given like a dream referral that's just changed your business?
Well, yeah, it's not just one referral, it's the relationships. There are certain people that I've met through this that I know will refer business later on, that are kind of that golden goose of a referral that they understand the giver's gain. I refer to them because I trust their business and stuff. But to say there was one that was I mean, obviously there are some that are just bigger referrals depending on, you know, dollar value and type of stuff like that. But I think just the whole experience as a whole is kind of the dream referral. It's kind of, I don't know, it's just, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. You've built so many amazing relationships that it's just so beneficial for you and your business. So Jonathan, you're a member of BNI Utah North. What
Yes.
chapter are you in?
The Sterling chapter.
Fantastic. So I might just come and visit you one day.
Well, and we meet at Club 90 off 90th South in Sandy at 7:30 on Wednesday mornings. So it's one of the chapters that meets at a bar, so you have to be 21 to come. But it's a great chapter, a lot of fun. And so it's just a good chapter. So I mean, if someone's wanting to visit, we'd love to have them.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jonathan. I've gotten so much from your story. So thanks so much for sharing. That is Jonathan Laker, J.C., Laker Jewelry, and I'll see you on the next show of the Professional Business Connections.